Okay, when you're ready to start connecting the flowers down at the bottom, you're going to make the flower exactly how you did when you were connecting this one to the next one. You would do all the flower petals except for the very last two, and you would chain 9, and then you chain an additional 9, then you leave yourself a bit of tail, and then cut the tail, then you would rip out 9 of the chains, and then you'd feed 1 through here, and then attach it, feed it, then chain 9 again, and that's it. It's exactly how you connect your very first flower on the next row. Now, when you're ready to start making your connections on the second row, you'll be connecting onto 2 flowers. When you're connecting on to this next flower here, when you're ready to connect it, make sure when you're grabbing these 6 petals that are loose at the bottom that you use the 2 middle ones, because we're going to have a smaller connector piece that will connect these other 2 petals. So when you come to do this one and you're ready to attach it, do the same thing. Leave 2 petals on this side, 2 petals on this side, and connect using these 2 petals, and then the same thing with the next flower down here. Find the 2 middle, find the 2 middle that would be on 6 on this side, because see, you're not going to have this one connected yet. So you're just going to have to find 2 petals and then connect to the next 2. And then you'll be okay. Just make sure you have these 2 loose ones in between each connection. And then I'll show you how to make the connector piece later on. So the trick to saving as much yarn as you can when doing this, I'm going to show you a trick. What you want to do is make 1 complete flower. So I've done this flower complete of 16 petals. Now I'm going to cut my yarn, leaving myself a little bit of tail. Since everybody crochets at different tightnesses, this could be a way you can test to see about how much yarn you'll need. Okay, so because we have to stop connecting a little earlier, we're going to have to stop at petal 11. So we'll make 10 complete petals, and then when you get to the 11th petal, so let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we'll have 10, and then we're going to go all the way to the 11th, but not have it connected. Oops, I have mine over here. There we go. So I'm going to take mine out until I get to my 11th petal. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. To this 11th petal, and just unattach it from my center of my flower like this. And this is how you will need to stop at every flower. And now, since you've already done your petals, you know about how much yarn you need, take a look at your tail that you have left. You may want to measure it by putting each, from the petal and then this, and then stretch out your arms, measure it by your arm, see about how much you're using. Me, I could measure mine, just in case you want to know. But you may single crochet, you may chain a lot different than me. I chain a lot different than me every time. This is just a rough estimate to give you about an estimate of how much you need. Mine is about 122 centimeters of yarn that I have left over. So that's what I'm going to stick to every time. Anyway, now that you have an idea of how much yarn you need to leave every time you make your flower on this row, then you can make it to the 11th petal, and then just don't connect it to the center of your flower, and then skip 2, go into the middle, so you have 2 on each side, go into the right of the 2 petals that you need to work with, if you work with the right hand, connect it, then chain your 9 for the next petal, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then slip it into the next petal. Pull your yarn through it as well, and then slip stitch. Now you're going to be making your 2 in-between petals. So you'll need to chain 9 and attach it twice to make your 2 center petals. So it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then attach it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And attach it. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. We're going to be attaching it to the next flower over here. So again, you want to skip 1, 2, and then this third. Pull your yarn through. And then you attach to your center of your flower. Then last petal, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then connect it by going through the last petal here. And then connect it to the center of your flower. Just like that. And this is how you will do all your flowers onto this row, except for the very last flower, because the last flower you will have to connect it on this side, and this side to complete the circle of the row. And I'll show you how to do that. So continue on to connect your flowers like this until you get to your very last petal, your very last flower on this side, and then I'll show you how to complete the circle. Okay, I wanted to show you a little tip. One of the reasons why I wanted to show you also that you could stop and leave yourself a bit of tail so that you can complete is, if you're using variegated yarn like I am, and you don't want all your darks to be together and all your lights to be together, you can mix it up. You can do your flowers in advance. For my daughter, I needed 17 flowers total. I need to use the 16th, or I should say the 17th flower to do my connections, to make the circle. So I need to at least make 16 of these normal flowers, and then the 17th one I'll make later. So I can make 16 flowers, and if you want to use like multicolors, like you're going to do individual flowers that are different colors, this is another way that you can really mix up your colors. Is make your amount of the flowers that you need minus the one flower that you're going to use to connect, and you can mix and match where you want your color flowers to be. And then at the end, when you have all your flowers, you can figure out where you want each flower to be, set it aside, and then connect them as you need, as you go. Okay, I've just got done connecting all my flowers on the second row, and I'm just about to connect my last one. To do the very last one, what you do is, again, you need to have 6 petals on the bottom, and when you get to your 7th petal, don't connect it. And I went ahead, since I know about how long I need to leave my yarn when I have 10 petals connected and my 11th unconnected, I went ahead and I brought it to my 11th and then cut my yarn knowing that I'll have enough, and then I backed out, or ripped it out till my 7th petal. So I have 6 completed and my 7th here. And you're going to start on this flower first because you have 3 connections, 1, 2, and 3 to make. So start with the right one. You can easily find the connections that you need. You need to have the 2 loose there, so you can grab these 2 underneath it. You just always need to make sure you have 4 loose petals here in the center to make your connector piece. Just like the flower purse, if you've ever made it. So you connect it to the center, 4, 5, 6, chain 9 again. Then slip it also through. And then you want to connect it, and then make 2 more petals. Sorry, I keep getting off camera here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Connect it. Then make your next 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Connect this one. Now you have 2 loose petals that will go in between here. So then you need to make 9 chain again. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. We've got our 2 there. We need to have our 2 here. That's for that connected piece. Now, you need to get these 2 middle. So out of your 6, grab your 2 middle ones. It's just like you did when you first started this row of flowers. You grab those 2 middle. You're going to chain. Connect and chain to make the next 2 connections with those petals, just like that. Now you've got those 2, and now again you need to make 2 petals that are loose. 6, 8, 9 that are loose and not connected to anything except the center that you'll use for your connection piece later. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's my second petal. Okay, now I have my 2 loose petals here for my connection piece. Now you need to do your 2 final petals connection. 2, 4, 9. Okay, so find 2 loose petals here for your connector piece. Then do your final connection to complete the circle. Next, I will show you how to do the connector piece. Then just slip stitch this last one. Just like this. And that's it. Then hide your tails. And then I'll show you how to make the connector piece. Okay, I got all my flowers connected on my second row, and this is exactly how you will do every row. I plan on doing 5 at the moment. I don't know, because I did my top shorter, and I want my skirt to be shorter this time, so I'm just going to have to find out on my daughter. It's up to you too, but last time on the dress I made 5 rows. So that right now that's my goal. So right now, you can continue to make your flowers if you want, and then do all your flowers, and then do your connection piece. Or every time you have your area here where you have these 4 connections, these 2 petals, 2 petals, 2 petals, you can make your connector piece, which is this. And I go ahead and I do my connector pieces after I have enough to be able to do it, which you will be able to do now every row. So every time you do a row, you can do it then or wait to the end and do them all at the same time. So I'm going to go ahead. I picked this color, the top, same color as this, to make my connection pieces here on the bottom. So what you need to do, and you don't have to have a long tail, but you can if you want, is chain 4. 1, 2, get a little closer here. So that's 2, 3, and 4. So you chain 4, and then you want to slip stitch in the beginning stitch to form a ring. Just like that. And then you want to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now for this, you're going to need more yarn than you needed when you did your 10 petals, and then you had the 11th petal, you left it free, and then you would cut your yarn. Well, you're going to need more than that. So for me, I stretch out my arms as far as I can go from this piece to however far I can get my arm stretched. And then I add a little bit more and cut. Your arms may not be as long as mine, so you can try it, see if you end up with enough, and if you don't have enough, then you know you're going to need to do it a little bit more. but once you get it down, then you can save yourself some yarn. Okay. So how you make the connector pieces is, now that you've got your chain 4 circle and your chain 6, you're going to put that little center circle, grab one of these, make sure you grab the right one. So you have 2 loose ones, make sure you grab the one on the right first, and just stick that circle part in there. Take your little tail out too. Now in this center circle here, there, you want to single crochet to connect. So I'm going to work over my tail as I do this. So single crochet, and then again chain 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then get your next, feed your chain through, and pull your tail through. And again, single crochet into your circle. And then chain 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And again, find the next loose set here. You have 2 loose on this next petal. Grab the top one that comes next. You're working your way around in a circle, gathering these loops here. And you're going to have to turn your project to keep working. And again, single crochet, attach that as well. Then chain 6 again, 3, 4, 5, 6. Find your next loop, feed it through that one. And again, single crochet to the center. And you're going to do this to gather all of your petals. 3, 4, 5, 6. Find the next one. Make sure that you don't lose a loop. Make sure that you have the next one. You don't want any loose loops. It's going to stick out of your project. Okay, I have one more section left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Find my last one. Single crochet that, and then last petal. Okay, when you get to the very last connection of your connector pieces, you want to single crochet as usual, but now you want to go in, and I know it's difficult to see, but you want to go into this little stitch. See if I can show you by this. I know it's hard to get into, but there's like the place where you very first started to chain your very first 6. You can go into that first chain. I find if you go into the first chain, then and slip stitch, and then chain 1, pull your yarn through to tie a knot. I find if you do it like this, that this part will become tighter together. If not, then you'll have kind of an open area here. But so far, that's the best way I've been able to find to finish your connector pieces. My tapestry needle. Again, I would just prefer to hide my tails right away. But as you can see, there's your connector piece I have on my loops. I'm going to go through this little whole section here, closest to where I stopped. Turn my project over. And then now I have a little bit of A little bit from my original tail sticking up here. I'm just going to cut that stuff loose. Now you can get your needle and feed it through some of the back stitches. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Just try to feed it through pretty good. So I just fed it through this side and then I came back through that side. Then you cut your yarn and that's it. That's how you make your connector piece. And you will do that between all of your flowers. So make as many rows as you want, connect them with your centerpiece, and you will be done. Okay, when my daughter was home yesterday, I went ahead and I had her put this on and measure where her straps need to be. And then I did my best to figure out, on a dress like this, especially when it's kind of heavy like this, you need to have short but thicker straps. So I'm changing my pattern from the last one that I made, the last Crochet Flower Dress. I have about 30 centimeters on this side, and I measured that they needed to be about 11.5 to 12 centimeters apart for my daughter. So I have from one to the next, it's about, from this one to this one, is about almost 12, a little more than 12. I'm going to be starting from here. This is where I need to end because I'm going to be working from right. So I have a strap going this way, and then my other strap will be here. So I'm just marking that I don't want to get any closer to her neck than this. So I have about 21 stitches from here to here. And if you fold your dress in half, making sure that the buttons and everything are on the back, you just want to fold it to make sure that they're even, which mine are on this side. And to do the back ones is going to be a bit easier once you get this connection here. Now my daughter's last dress, I really wish that I could crisscross, but considering it's button, you can't really do a crisscross. So you really need to get it as close as you can. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to go ahead and mark where my markers are here, and then do a marker on the other side as well. So again, marking that I don't want to get any closer than that. But if it goes the same way as my daughter's other dress, this may be like the middle. So for now, this is how I'm marking where my straps will go. So they're going to be on these sides of the marker, and then they're going to go over. I'm not going to make them very long. Okay, so once I have it marked where I'm hoping my straps will go well, I'm going to take the front part because it's going to be easier to mess with from this side, and I'm going to enter where my marker is. And I'm going to do a single crochet attachment, just pulling up a loop, then yarning over and pulling through there. And now once I have it attached, I can move this marker out of my way. Okay, I want my daughter's straps to be thicker but not too thin. So what I'm going to do is go over at least 5 single crochets total. And I think that'll be good size. So once you've got your 5, you want to chain and turn, and then start your single crochets on this side as well. And like I said, you don't want the straps to be so long because they stretch and they become longer, and you really want this heavier garment to be held up by, you know, the thicker and the shorter the strap, the less it's going to dig into the shoulders of the kids. So I don't know what your measurement is for your daughter or cousin or niece or nephew or whatever. And I'm not sure what size that you have, but I told you to measure that part of your child. And my daughter was about 16.5 centimeters. So I think I'm going to shorten it again to about 15 centimeters. And then I'll see how that fits on her. See if she likes it and I like it before I attach it on the other side. And when you are ready to attach it on the other side, I'll show you how to do that. Okay. I've done 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 21 rows right now. I want to measure it as I'm going for about 15. And so for now, or my beginning, I have about 12 centimeters. But what I want to do is stretch it slightly, like my daughter will when she puts it on. And I'm going to measure it when I slightly stretch it. And I get up to the 15, maybe even, no, here. Get up 14.5 to 15 is where it'll be whenever she wears it, which is exactly where I want it to be on her body. So when you're measuring it, make sure that you do slightly tug on your, where it may be when she puts it on. And here, I tightened it a little bit more. This is about the extent of how far I can pull it. And I got about 15, 16, which should be fine for her. So that would be how you would measure it, because this is heavy material and it will stretch. So you don't want to measure it for what it is, but what it will be when it's stretched. So please keep this in mind. Okay, so I single crocheted back and forth for a total of 25 rows. 24 was fine, but I needed to do one more just so I can get my loop on this left side. The reason for that is because when you connect the strap, I'm going to go ahead and turn my project inside out. Then once you have it inside out, you can mark up, make sure that it's the back to the front. And remember, this is where we wanted the strap to end. So we want it to basically be on that side. So we want to count over 5 stitches. So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is the stitch we're going to be going into. So what you want to do is you want to chain 1 on your project, and then you want to go into that same beginning stitch, and then find your 5th stitch over, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on your dress, and then go into that one. And you want to do a single crochet. And again, you want to go in through your strap, then go in through the next stitch of the dress and do a single crochet. Continue to do that until all your straps are connected. And then you want to chain 1 and cut your yarn. And don't forget to remove your marker. Chain 1 and cut your yarn, giving yourself a bit of tail so that you can work it in later with the tapestry needle. And then you'll want to connect the next side the exact same way. So you want to start off making your marker, flip your dress back around, and start making your other strap. And then when you're ready, just flip it back over, and then you can make the second strap for your dress. Okay, so that's the tutorial for the crochet flower dress, and I'll have a link for this puff flower bow for you, and that's it. It's easy enough to sew on. Just go going through the tops of the stitches so that it doesn't show as much as you can. And that's it. But feel free, if you don't want this bow, to use any kind of motif on the front. I hope that this tutorial was easy to follow and that you were able to make the size for the child that you needed. Thanks so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and share this video, and please don't forget to subscribe.